Welcome to Orient Live. It's a slightly different start for us today, and I'm absolutely delighted to be joined here in the E10 studio by two people who are very important to the running of the scenes behind the show. I've got Jim and Steph McCaffrey here, obviously from Easthill and from the women's team as well. Firstly, Jim, a pleasure having you in. Very different setting. Did you ever think, watching from your home back in Boston, that you'd be in this glamorous studio one day?
Thrill of a lifetime. Are you kidding me? Here on set with you, the lads. Big match today. Come on. I mean, this is a 12 out of 10 for me.
Well, I'm glad you're as excited as we are. But we've had you as front of shirt sponsors for what, 3 seasons now. How's that journey been for you personally?
Fantastic. So Easthill is a real estate investment bank. We pride ourselves on being the underdogs of the industry. We fight like underdogs every day, and that's why we love being affiliated and sponsoring the lads here and the women here in East London. It's an absolute gift. We're super grateful, and as I always say, we're not sponsors. We're part of the team. We're part of the Orient. We're part of the community, and it's the most authentic brand in all of English football. 4 or 5 generations in some cases, and we're just thrilled to be a small part of the whole thing.
And you talk about underdogs then, looking at last season, no one would have thought in November, sat in and around the relegation zone, that we would have risen up and gotten to Wembley. What made it so special for you on and off the pitch?
Look, the results speak for themselves, but I thought the way we started, literally, I mean, they were shoveling the dirt onto the grave. They came in for the last rites. It was literally over. And Richie and the guys in the club banded together when a lot of people had lost faith, and they came back like an absolute tornado. And I thought, honestly, the Manchester City match here, where they have a payroll of 400 or 500 million, literally 100 times ours, and we showed what we were made of that day, and it literally sprung us through the rest of the season. And even still, having to go up to Stockport and all the rest of it and fight from behind and win, to me, it was such a thrill to be along for the ride. But seeing the community, these fans, these supporters that have been part of it for so many years, just watching the joy in their faces, to me, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And Steph, you've been very heavily involved with the women's team now. There's been a lot of change of late as well. Can you tell us a bit about what's going on there?
Yeah, for sure. Last year, we did a deal with the club to become majority owners and decision makers of the women's team. And we did that with the goal of achieving 3 or 4 promotions in 5 years, ideally 4. So what I've tried to do as, I guess in a way, acting as the chairwoman of the women's team, is put a roster and a group together that will give us the highest probability to do that. We have so much respect for the girls who built the original Orient, and for Olivia Worsfold, who kind of, I think, was the catalyst behind all of that. So they ran the first 2 laps around the track, and what we're trying to do is take the baton and push the team that much further. And we feel like we're the strongest team in our division going into it, and now we have to capitalize and execute.
You showed that last weekend in a FA Cup win, 13-0, was it? I mean, that must have set the stall out early doors.
For sure, yeah. We played Hitch and Bells, who was a great team in Tier 6. I think they're middle of the pack. And right now, despite our kind of mantra is we can't help what division we're in, but we want to put our best foot forward in every game and operate like a semi-professional team with both performances and the resources that we provide the women around healthcare, meals, transportation, etc. So I think that was a good indication that on the field product-wise, we're where we want to be, which is a Tier 3 level team.
And looking back towards today's fixture, then kick-off rapidly approaching, a tough opposition in Bolton. How do you both see today's one going?
I think we're going to come out swinging. Saturday afternoon in East London, the E10. I had the pizza before the match on the high street. People are up for it. The result last week was amazing. Hopefully we'll come out and we'll build on that and be ready to take these guys on.
Can we push you for a prediction, Steph?
Yeah. 2 0-0s.
Yeah?
Yep.
There we go.
Come on, the lads. Come on.
Right then, we've got Brendan Pitcher and Jabo Abire waiting in the wings, ready to come in and tell us more about this fixture. But first, let's hear from Richie Wellins.
Gaffer, Bolton to come on Saturday. How much are we looking forward to getting back home, first of all?
Yeah, it's felt like a long time since we did the Northampton game. It wasn't a great performance, and it's felt like a long time since we last played at home. So looking forward to it against a good team, obviously a big club. So it should be a good day, should be a good game.
I read during the week that Bolton have had the most shots from inside the box and outside the box in the league so far this season. Where do we need to be strong on Saturday, do you think?
Well, listen, they've got good footballers, they've got two good wingers, whichever two play. They've obviously recruited really well. Burstow was someone that we liked. Force is an unbelievable signing for the level. And then they've got good midfield players that can handle the ball. So listen, they've got the strengths, but Bolton in League One, you expect them to have the strength. So we're under no illusions it'll be a tough game, and we respect that they're a good opposition. But they've not won too many this year as well, so they've obviously got weaknesses in there.
They edged us out a couple of times last season as part of the preparation. Do you look back at our games against them at all?
A little bit, but I think the time when we played, Schumacher was a manager in the second game last year. Obviously Ian, I thought we should have beat him at home, but away we was winning, and then obviously we had no fit centre backs on a day. And we had to put Sweens in at centre back, and they made a really clever. Shuey made a good substitution and put in, I forget who it was, but a big strike up against Sweens, and we struggled. We struggled with any physicality. Give a stupid penalty away to let them back in the game, and it was just that phase where we'd got all our centre backs injured, and it was on that run where we lost 4 or 5 on a bounce. So yeah, not too much relative about. I think they've changed a little bit this season as well, the way that they're playing. So although you look back, it's a new season, new squad. So we're concentrating more on what's just happened in the last 4, 5, 6 games.
Right then, without much further ado, let's take a look and see how Richie Wellins has shaped the boys up for this afternoon's clash with Bolton Wanderers. So starting in goal, returning from international duty, is Tommy Simpkin. We believe it will be a back three today with Jack Simpson and Romani Evans-Green either side of the captain, Dan Happy. In midfield, or maybe the wing-back positions, it's Dimitri Mitchell and Michael Craig, with in the middle of the park, Idris El Mizouni and Jack Morehouse. Then, pardon me, with Don Ballard leading the line, with Connolly and Josh Koroma just behind him. And on the bench is Killian Cahill, Tom James, Omar Beckles, Sean Collette, Charlie Wellins, Sonny Perkins and Azim Abdullahi. A bold stroke from Richie here.
Yeah, a really interesting team selection there. Probably forced his hand a little bit with the injury that he spoke about Ollie O'Neill being out for a little bit. And we've seen in recent games where if it hasn't been going so well, he's changed to that back three quite frequently. So it's clearly something he feels is up his sleeve, and it's interesting to see it from the start today. Probably a mark of respect to Bolton, who I think, despite their results, have started the season really, really well.
Whilst it maybe you could say it's we've had the age-old debate of is it a back five or a back three. With Dimitri Mitchell in there in a wing-back position, it's a fairly attacking setup.
Yeah, of course, and sometimes when you play back three or back and whatever you want to call it, sometimes it's like the wing backs have to then be attackive, I think, to really get the best out of it. So the likes of having that sort of personnel on that left-hand side would be fantastic.
And I mean, we don't know what they've got planned in the game. If things need to be shaped about or moved around, you could always revert that into a 4 with the personnel we've got there as well. It could be fluid at times depending on how the game needs to be managed.
Yeah, definitely. When you look at someone like Romani Evans-Green, I think he's a player that is comfortable, definitely. I think his best position might be in a centre-back and a back three. But he can also play centre-back and a back two, can also play full-back, and the likes of Dimitri Mitchell, Michael Craig. Michael Craig can come inside and play central midfield. Mitchell can play on the wing. There's lots of options there, and it can be fluid, and Stephen Schumacher will be kept guessing during the game, which I think is a key thing, because I think him and Richie are both really tactically astute managers. I think Richie alluded to it in his pre-match about last season when we brought on Jaden Sweeney and Stephen Schumacher made a good tactical change. It affects the game when there's two managers that are just very, very good tactically. It can just, those little tweaks can make the difference, and we've got a lot of kind of tools in our arsenal today to be able to make those tweaks.
It's an interesting one in the middle of the park then. They've got a job on their hands. Jack Morehouse and Idris El Mizouni, we imagine, will be the two main men in the middle of the park. They'll obviously need support from elsewhere, but how do you think those two will complement each other?
Well, I hope that, you know, there's a lot of communication and everything, and maybe hopefully they don't have to pull one of the 10s into support. And I think that's the main thing. As long as we can keep our 10s doing the attacking business and they can just hold that sort of position in front of our defence and the area in front, just to make it so we're not losing that attacking threat with the other two up front.
I mean, would you see one of the... Obviously, Aaron Connolly's been dropping deep in recent weeks, just searching for the ball. How do you see that kind of area of the pitch shaping up?
Yeah, again, it's very fluid. I think all three of those players can play in any of the front three positions. And like we said, Connolly probably prefers to play in that number 10 role. Karoma maybe a little bit wider, but he can come central. He played a lot of the season last season for Huddersfield as a striker. So there's a lot of options there. Ballard, I was really impressed with him on his league debut against Port Vale. He looks like that kind of player that Richie's been looking for, in terms of he's quick, he'll play on the last defender, he'll press really well, and he can finish. And I think it's really exciting to be able to play those three. I think when you've got those three on the pitch together, you're always going to have a chance of scoring goals.
And you take confidence in him and Aaron Connolly both adding to their goal numbers for the season, and more in general, you know, to win it as we did in the 95th minute. We've got to take that into today, haven't we? Yeah,
it just shows a great mark of a team when you can. Like, I think the second half was slightly a bit difficult at times last week, but to go and win it in the manner we did, it just shows great character within the team, and that's going to build so much confidence. And Ballard's getting off the mark, you know, scored lots of goals at youth level, and hasn't quite happened to him when he's been on loan previous times, but now he's ready to start going, getting his goal. He's looking dangerous, and there was big praise from Southampton about him, so hopefully this is the club where he can, you know, fulfil that potential.
And let's heap some praise on Josh Karoma as well. He's been the main man since he's really gotten his feet back under the table here in E10.
Yeah, player of the season probably so far for me. I think in terms of just pure goal contributions, you can't argue with what he's done so far. I think he's one of those players where you've just got to get him in those positions and he'll make things happen. I think his dribbling is brilliant. His final ball is really good. He got 2, arguably 3 assists last week against Port Vale, and he's got that finishing touch like he's shown a couple of times as well. I think he's slotted in so seamlessly, and he also does the hard work playing on the wing. It's interesting that Richie prefers him from that right-hand side, because when we saw him probably under Justin, he'd maybe be a little bit wider and coming in onto his favoured right foot, and I'm interested to see how it shapes up today with Connolly, but I probably expect him to be on that right-hand side, but he's making it work so far, and he's getting those assists and goal contributions, and he's proven to be a really, really good signing so far.
He certainly is. Right, don't forget, if you're watching along live on our YouTube preview stream, then this one is available for international fans to watch along here on Orient Live with a match pass for just £10. If you're watching along from in the UK, you can pick up an audio pass to listen along to commentary with Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock. And another announcement for you, we're very excited that the annual International Day is coming up next month, when we host Lincoln City right here in E10. This action-packed days are priced at just £319, and International O's members and Orient Live subscribers can get a 10% discount on the price. So head to the ticketing website now to book your place. Right though, lads, I want to talk about Idris El Mizouni for a little bit as well. He's so important. We missed him when he had that game suspension for that game here against Northampton. Like, it was so obvious how much you miss him in the middle of the park. He's someone that you want knitting everything together, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's the link man. He encapsulates what we're about, and you know, it's good to have him back and finding his feet very early. And you know, you can see how much he was missed against Northampton.
And he was good against Port Vale. He was good against Peterborough on the Tuesday night. He almost does that role where you probably notice him more when he's not there, don't you?
100%. I think the team selection again is really interesting in terms of, I think it's a massive show of faith in what Richie thinks of Idris El Mizouni, in terms of Jack Morehouse is a quality player. Like, he has got unbelievable technical ability. He can drive with the ball from deep, but I don't think he's a ball winner. But it shows what Richie thinks of Idris El Mizouni in terms of the fact he trusts him to play against a young player, alongside a young player like Morehouse, where he probably won't win the ball back as much, whereas El Mizouni is going to play that role and is going to do all those things, and especially against a side like Bolton, who are a very possession-heavy side, like to dominate the ball. and it shows kind of what Richie thinks of Idris in terms of he's up there, he can do that role almost single-handedly, and then it's about Jack Moorhouse can do the creative side of it in a midfield too.
How interested are you to see how it pans out? What can you say about the show of faith they have in Jack Moorhouse? But when you come up against a team like Bolton, who every year their fans go, we should be challenging. They're a massive club for this level. Ultimately, they'd never really do, but they're always a good side, and so it is going to be a tough test for the two. Even Idris, still a young midfielder.
Yeah, I know, and this is what Richie's all about. I think he doesn't hesitate in these kind of things. If he thinks it's the right game plan, and he thinks that this is the right combination where it's Idris and Moorhouse, then he will play those players, and it won't be about kind of protecting them because they're young players. It's about throwing them in, telling them, giving them the instructions and giving them the roles to do and seeing how they do. And that's what has kind of made Richie the manager that he has, especially at Orient in recent seasons. He's given these players, young players, a chance, and they've repaid him so far.
For sure, for sure. 3 goals last time out as well. Then looking just at that forward area of the pitch, you already spoke about those 3 players. What we don't want to have to do is win it in the 95th minute after conceding 2 goals again. The goals are great though, but it needs to maybe be a little bit more complete today, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's just nice, especially when, as we're still fairly early in the season, you want your strikers to get going, you want to see some fluidity and some danger, which we're now showing. I think then you almost want to encapsulate that with a nice streamlined performance where we don't seem so open at times, which I felt somewhat of last week's game, it felt like that. So you're almost looking for a complete performance in a sense, but as long as there's goals, and I think whenever there's goals in a team, you've always got good chances, and you're never going to kind of worry in the long run. But it'd be just nice to us to see it out more comfortably than we had.
Absolutely right. Then we're going to take a look at the Bolton Wanderers lineup very shortly, but first let's hear from the main man. It's Idris El Mizouni.
It's been very good. Obviously, it's a new environment with new people, new players. The gaffer's the same, the staff's the same, but I had to kind of know the new players. But yeah, it's been good, enjoyable, and then yeah, it's good to see that we've got a lot of quality players as well. I think everyone can be a leader in a team. We've got like good characters and big characters throughout the squads. But yeah, maybe because I feel like I've been at the club for like 3 years now. So yeah, maybe. But I'm just trying to be myself and normal, really. Yeah. To be honest, I felt like first half we played really well. We played some very good football. But second half was a different game. I feel like they were on top of us in the second half. But yeah, we're working towards trying to be perfect and trying to replicate the first half into the second every game. But we need to remember as well, it's a new team, a lot of new players, and the way the gaffer want to play, we're not going to master it after 1 or 2 games. It's going to take a bit of time, but when we're going to get it right, we're going to play very good because we have a lot of good players as well. Obviously, Chaz came on and scored, so that shows how important the squad is. Whoever starts, whoever comes on, they're as important as anyone else. And then it's good. It was a good feeling to get the win. And sometimes you need them, really. Big club, but personally I take it as any other game. Obviously it's always good to play against a big club, but it's a League One game. We just need to try to play our best and then come back with the 3 points. We're at home in front of our fans. So yeah, if we can put a good performance, I think yeah, we have a good chance. They're part of the team, really. Wherever we go, we can hear them at any stadium, but at home it's massive. We're going to need them during the season because it's not going to always be easy. As you know, it's a tough league, but we've got quality, we've got good managing, yeah, good gaffer, good staff. So if we can get it right and then they're behind us, I think we're just going to be good.
Lovely stuff there from Idris, but now let's take a look at the visiting side and Bolton Wanderers and see how they're lining up as they prepare to come and take some points back up to the north with them. Starting in goal is Teddy Sharman-Lowe. In defence they have Xavier Simons, Chris Forino with Josh Dacres-Cogley and Max Conway in the fullback positions. In midfield is George Johnston, Mason Burstow, Aaron Morley, and we believe in the wide positions is Amarillo Cozier Dubry and Joel Randall, with Thierry Gale leading the line. And on Steve Schumacher's bench is Tyler Miller, Owen Toll, Marcus Force, Ethan Erhan, Ibrahim Sissoko, Josh Sheehan, and ex-Orient Youth product Sam Dalby. It's been a bit of a mixed season for them so far.
Yeah, I think results-wise they're on a par with us. I think the underlying performance data just suggests they're probably a better team than that, and they've been a little bit unlucky. They've had the most shots in the league by quite a considerable distance. I think it's 20 more than the next best side. They've had the least shots conceded more. They've got the lowest least shots conceded of all the teams in League One. Again, by quite a considerable distance. It's about by 15 odd shots. And it's not simple to say, look, if you take loads of shots and you don't let lots of shots on your goal, you're going to win football games. But it's a good indicator of eventually you're going to start dominating games. Those shots you're taking, they're going to go in, and the shots you're facing, if you limit it, you'll defend well. So I think they're a really good side. I think in Amario Cozier-Dubry, they've probably got one of, if not the best player in the league. I think he is on loan from Brighton. He had a spell at Blackburn last season where they finished 7th in the Championship. He basically played every game. He didn't get probably the goal contributions that they would have expected, but he's found himself in League One now, and he started the season in electric form. So I think that's a really interesting tactical battle today in terms of he plays on that right-hand side. He likes to cut in onto his left foot, and we've obviously got that back three there where I imagine maybe Jack Simpson or Dan Happy will play on the left side of the back three, and then Dimitri Mitchell will play at wing back. So be interested to see how we counteract that threat today, because I'd say he's their danger man.
What side of the attack does he play on? Normally the right?
He's on the right, yeah.
With Dimitri Mitchell maybe not an out-and-out fullback, does...
Yeah.
How interested you'd see how that one works out?
That's the interesting thing, because you've got someone like it will be a toss-up between whether it's Happy or Jack Simpson. They're going to have to do the defending. They're going to have to come out and stop him, because he's a player that takes a lot of shots, and that's kind of the reason why maybe Bolton have the most shots in the league. He has that freedom to just let fly from anywhere, and it's proven that he gets these shots off and they're a threat. But it's about who's going to be the man to press him. Is it going to be Mitchell, who, like you say, probably isn't the most natural wing back and is going to be looking to go the other way, or is it going to be the left centre back? And that's the intriguing battle for me today.
Absolutely. And if you're an Orient attacker coming into the game, then thinking about what Brendan says about they don't concede many shots, how do you go about trying to carve open a side like Bolton that you know are tough to break down? You have to be patient and keep doing the right things that Richie and you and the players have implemented during the training sessions this week. They're pretty fully aware of what Brendan's alluded to there. And when you get the moments, like again with the last goal, that break was fantastic against Port Vale. So we have that quality, we have that composure to play the right weighted pass. And I think in those moments, can we just play the right weighted pass? Can we do it with conviction and guile? And I think we'll be able to break them down, because we've got enough quality in our attack, that's for sure. 4 draws for them this season. We've won the one game more than them. It's a really hard one to call maybe on paper, but do you see this one being a tough one to call? Yeah, I think so. I think it's both teams, at similar points. Don't think we've won at home, don't think they've won away. I think it's there for the making for a team to, set their stall out and get their seasons going in a particular direction. So I think it'd be a good test for us and see where we really are. But we're going to have to go out and be dominant. And let's remind ourselves of how the O's are lining up with just over 5 minutes to go until kick-off. But starting in goal for the O's is our number one. It's Tommy Simpkin, fresh back from international duty. It's a back three today with Jack Simpson and Romani Edmonds-Green either side of the captain Dan Happy. Across midfield we have El Mizouni and Jack Morehouse in the middle, with Michael Craig and Dimitri Mitchell in the wing-back positions. Just behind Don Ballard is Aaron Connolly and Josh Koroma. And on the bench, Killian Cahill, Tom James, Aymar Beckles, Sean Clare, Charlie Wellins, Sonny Perkin and Azim Abdullahi. So let's talk about Jack Simpson and Romani Edmonds-Green actually, because Omar's been placed on the bench. But that is also another vote of confidence in probably what Richie saw in that game on the Tuesday night against Peterborough. They've got good options there.
Yeah, that's the thing with Richie. I think he never kind of gives false platitudes. He says these things about if you play well in these games where I give you where I rotate the side and it's a cup game, it's maybe not as important as a league game, I'm going to give you a chance in the league eventually. And he's done that straight away here with Romani Edmonds-Green and Jack Simpson, who I thought were really good against Peterborough in the Virtue Trophy, and they've got their chance today. And it comes at the expense of Omar Beckles, who, unbelievable player for us last season, was probably one of my players of the season, but started the season a little bit shakily, was hooked against Port Vale and has found himself out of the team. And it's just about, the squad is so strong now when everyone's fit. A player like Omar Beckles, who is the captain, who is one of the star players, can find himself out of the team, and that's a real good problem to have for Richie.
And we're seeing the E10 ground getting full up here, the atmosphere's building, and last week was a fantastic occasion, winning it so late on. But it only matters if we follow it up today, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. And, you know, but it's against a good team, a strong team, and a team that you like to think will be in and around the playoffs come the end of the season. So I think it's a good test to see where we're at. But if I was to call it, I'd just say a draw, or we'll be the ones that come out with the victory.
It's been a little bit stop-start so far this season, but you almost want to see us kind of really grab the campaign now by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, this would be a statement victory if we got it, despite kind of what we said about Bolton's results have been almost on par with ours. I think a lot of people consider Bolton, they'll be up there come the end of the season. So if we can go here and put in a performance where we win and win comfortably, then the rest of the league kind of sits up and takes notice, because we're showing kind of we can perform at the level we did at the back end of last season, despite the wholesale changes in the starting lineup. And
defensively, Jabbo, you know, we've touched on it already, but conceding 2 against Port Vale, 2 against Stockport, we conceded to Northampton. All these goals, you know, a clean sheet and just a strong defensive performance, that would also be a statement. Yeah, massively. You know, a lot of our success has been built up from having a strong back line, keeping many clean sheets throughout. So it'd be nice to sort of get that going and build that confidence amongst the team. Brendan, how confident are you this afternoon? I'm going to sit on the fence and say, go with Jabbo. I think it'll be a tight game. I think I'll go with a 1-1 draw. Well, not much confidence in the studio today. Hopefully a bit more confidence out on the pitch. Well, here come the Blads making their way out here in the E10 sunshine. So for our match commentary team, let's hand over to Dave Victor and Matt Hiscock.
A very different looking Leyton Orient rear guard.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting game today, Dave. I really do. I think we're watching two